Hi everyone, my name is Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to explore the Warmth and Cheer product suite. This is a sneak peek from our holiday 2016 Stampin' Up! Catalog. This is the card we're going to create. And you'll notice the deeply embossed designs on this embossing folder piece. And so I'll show you exactly in my Big Shot how you're going to use that because it is different from our previous embossing folders. And then of course it has this very cheerful ornament on the front, some beautiful designer series paper, washi tape, some new twine, and then our inside panel. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's the stamp set that we're going to use called Wrapped in Warmth, and you can see it has all these snuggly little patterns, and then just some great sentiments that could really make some great tags too. And the designer series paper that we're going to use is from the 6x6 designer series paper pack, and it is called Warmth and Cheer, and it has some beautiful designs as you can see as I'm strolling through here. And you could actually use any of these papers for this card. In fact, the template that we're going to use is this one right here, where you take a 6x6 panel from the Warmth and Cheer Designer Series pack. You're going to cut it down one side at 4 inches and then turn it, and you're going to cut 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. So you'll have 3 2x4 inch panels. And then you can just go ahead and take that extra strip that we have left, and you'll cut that into 1/2 inch by 4 inch panels. And so that will give you a couple of leftover pieces, but it is the most efficient way to use this designer series paper for this particular card. And in fact, when you do that, you will actually get, from one pack of designer series paper, you will get 144 pieces of 2x4 paper that you can create into this card. And so that's a really good value for your money. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to need is some garden green cardstock. I've cut this at 5.5 by 8.5, and then I've scored it at 4 1/4. And we're just going to fold along the score line. I like to fold towards the mountain. And then I'll use my bone folder and just make a nice press. And then it will lie flat for us while we work with it. We're going to go ahead and do the inside panel. The inside panel has a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of very vanilla cardstock. And then on the inside, I took a little strip of the Warmth and Cheer paper, and we are measuring this at 1/2 inch by 4 inches. I put this along the bottom. Then I took the stamp and I went ahead and stamped "Wishing You a Season Filled with Warmth and Cheer," and that is with cherry cobbler ink. So I just went ahead and did that because there's so much to show you on this card that I wanted to make the inside panel kind of pre-done for you. And now let's go ahead and talk about that new wonderful Big Shot embossing folder. So to use that Big Shot embossing folder, I'm going to demonstrate that with a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Sahara sand paper. So let me grab the Big Shot machine, and we'll put this into the picture so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the new embossing folder that we're going to use, and I do want to show you just how very thick it is. This is a normal embossing folder. This is our Gently Falling, and you can see the difference. Look at how much thicker the one on the right is. So that's our new dynamic texture embossing folder, and this is our regular size embossing folder. So when you use an embossing folder, if you have a Stampin' Up! Big Shot machine, it comes with a platform that has 2 pieces. Let me just show you this really quickly. We have our thin die adapter, that's for our framelets and thinlets, and then we have the Big Shot platform that you put your thin die adapter on. Now you have to actually take off this thin die adapter when you are using the Big Shot machine because you want to use it with your embossing folders without that adapter. So you're just going to put down the Big Shot platform, and then if you were using a normal embossing folder, you would go ahead and put one of our cut plates, and then you would put your embossing folder down. Of course, you'd have paper in here, and then you'd put another cut plate over the top and run it through. However, you cannot do that with our new embossing folder because it is so thick. So what you're going to do is you're going to take whatever paper it is that you want, and in this case we're going to go ahead and use Sahara Sand. I'm going to open up this embossing folder. I'm going to set the paper in here, and it doesn't matter so much where you put the paper, so I'm just putting it up towards the top edge. And now what you're going to do, because this is really deep embossing, so it's a very thick folder, you're just going to start with the Big Shot platform, and then you're going to put your dynamic embossing folder over the top. This one's actually called the Cable Knit, and you can see that it looks like a really lovely knitted sweater. And then you're just going to put one cut plate over the top. So again, the sandwich is your Big Shot platform, your Cable Knit dynamic embossing folder, and then one cut plate over the top. So you're eliminating one cut plate. Then you just go ahead and run it through the Big Shot machine. And then let me just show you just the gorgeousness of how this turns out. So we open it up, take it out, and look at that intense embossing. It's got a 3D-like effect. It's very deep embossing. And so I just love it, and I know that you're going to love it too. In fact, it's going to be one of our most popular products in the catalog, I'm sure. So if you have this on the wish list, I would go ahead and get this as one of the first things that you order from the new catalog. So let me go ahead and set this aside. And now we're just going to go ahead and work with this panel. So the next thing that we're going to need is a 2x4 inch piece of that Warmth and Cheer Designer Series paper. I've already gone ahead, cut this down. It's ready to go right onto my card. I'm going to use multi-purpose liquid glue to adhere it. And then we can go ahead and just set this right onto the front panel of our card, just like so. Give that a good press so that the glue can get down there into those crevices. Then we are going to use the Warmth and Cheer washi tape. This product suite has so many products in it, and the washi tape is just lovely. So you can pick whichever one that you want to do. Now let me show you the original card. I did use a different Designer Series paper and a different washi tape, but just to show you how versatile this Designer Series paper is, I'm going to create this card with another pattern from that Designer Series paper pack, and then I'm also going to use a different washi. So this is the Garden Green washi with the little check marks in. So then we're just going to go ahead, we just put it over the top of that Designer Series paper, and we're just wrapping it around to the back. The next product that we're going to use is a Baker's Twine Trio. You can see it here. Of course, I've used quite a bit of the red already, but it also comes with kind of a gold metallic, and then of course this Garden Green. So we're going to take this Garden Green, and we are going to adhere this directly to our card because our ornament is going to hang off the top of the card. So let me just go ahead and cut a little strip of this. And the way we're going to do this is we're just going to go in, maybe about 1.5 inches or so. And we are just going to fold this over the top and tape it on the other side. And then I'm going to take another piece of tape, and we're going to tape it here on the inside. We don't need to worry about this too much because the ornament will cover that up. And so this is what it's going to look like at this stage of the game. So then the next thing we need to do is a little bit of stamping. So we just have a scrap piece of Very Vanilla, and I'm going to ink up that stamp that we're going to be using. And I'm inking it up in Cherry Cobbler. I'm just going to stamp it down here in the bottom. And then you will go ahead and put your ornament framelit over the top and run it through the Big Shot machine. Now I did already do that, so let me show you the sandwich that I use. I started with my Stampin' Up! Magnetic platform because that will hold things in place so they don't wiggle away on you. Then I used my cut plate next. I put down the stamped image that I'm using. I use the Delicate Ornament Thinlits. They look like this. Of course, there's a couple out because I have it on my cut plate right now, but it's called Delicate Ornaments, and it's in our annual catalog. And so you'll just put that right over the top wherever it is you want it. And then I took just a little scrap of gold foil so that I could use it for the ornament holder. Now to put this together, it's very, very easy. You're just going to take your cutout and then you'll take your ornament holder and then just add a glue dot and put it on the top. So let me get this out of the way and I'll show you the one that I created in advance. So it's right here, and all you do next after you've added your glue dot at the top is just tie a little bow with that garden green baker's twine. Then go ahead and put on some dimensionals on the back, which I am going to go ahead and peel off. And then you're going to set this right onto your card so that it looks like this. Then there's nothing else to do but go ahead and attach it to your card base. So we're going to do that with some multi-purpose liquid glue. We'll flip this over and center this right in on the front panel of our card. And our card is complete. So here's the card we've just done. Here's the card that I had done in advance. And I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. I truly appreciate you. If you're interested in placing a Stampin' Up! Product order, please see my blog at www.stampintoshare.com, and there are links there that will take you to my online store. And if you need a holiday catalog or have not yet received yours in the mail, be sure to contact your demonstrator. Otherwise, if you need a demonstrator, be sure to contact me and I'll be happy to mail one out for you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.